Brennan.
Present.
Councilman McCain.
Present.
Councilman Stokes.
Here.
Mayor Sykes.
Present, let the record reflect, we do have a quorum for Monday, August 24th, 2020 at 6 p.m. Run down to item number 2, recognizing persons. Oh, actually, no. I need to add a request for free tie downs. Go with the FBO mechanic license for Tom Hogue. Time sensitive, cannot wait until the next meeting.
Why can't it wait until the next meeting for tie downs? We're tie down fees and everything are waiting until later.
Because he'll be charged for them for the end of the month. That's where it was supposed to be on here, and we just forgot. It was supposed to be on there for because it was you'll owe them for August if he doesn't get them waived for the mechanics and the FBO.
I thought we tie down fees we put off until later on anyway, so the tie down fees would still be due.
Right, but this is for FBOs and mechanics. We give the mechanic out there 3 free tie downs. So if he's being a mechanic and an FBO, shouldn't he be offered the same? Like, it's fair for everybody, I guess.
Yeah, I didn't see any place that we've have offered that to where I'll go ahead and make a motion that we add that.
Where does that go to? New business?
Yeah. The motion second, I'll call for the question. Councilman Bundy.
Aye.
Councilman Stokes.
Aye.
Councilman Brennan.
Aye.
Councilman McCain.
Aye.
And 1 second, John, I gotta write that. I'll forget. Okay. Would anybody like to get up and speak for 3 minutes? Hey, Jay, come on down.
Got to sign in?
No.
No? Awesome.
Not for this.
Perfect. All right, cool. Gentlemen, I know you're busy. I know you got a full schedule, so I won't keep you too long. As you know, I got to meet with all of you guys because unfortunately we had to cancel Air Force Appreciation Day for this year. So it's kind of a hallmark event for the city, and we of course felt really, really bad about it. We are a very patriotic city. We wanted to make sure that we continue to honor our men and women who are in uniform. So we are revamping AFAD this year to a virtual type event. I just wanted to kind of get it out there to the people in the city and to you guys. I know you guys individually all have a large social media presence, so we're kind of hoping we can piggyback off of you guys and start getting the word out there. So coming out this week, we will start releasing events. As you guys know, I've been working on a video that's going to talk a little bit about the history of AFAD, and it's going to show some videos, some interviews with some people that have been key members of the base, key members of the city, key members of the event. So that video will be released around the same weekend that AFAD will normally kick off. We are still planning a flyby that is in the works over there to try and get the jets to fly over the city. We are working on a virtual corn shucking right now. I was surprised to find corn shucking is like the most popular event out of everybody over there. So the way it'll work is David and Jenny Iverson, I don't know if you remember them, they did an awesome corn shucking video, which hopefully in the next few days over here should be released on the Chamber's Facebook page to kind of get it out there. Anybody who would like to make a virtual corn shucking video can put it out there, and then we're just going to go by fan favorites. Anything on the website, whoever gets the most votes, we're going to start giving out prizes to those. We haven't quite nailed down all the prizes out there, but they will be announced. They are going to be kind of going on like that. Let me see. Am I missing anything else? I think that's about it. So basically, I just wanted to get that on your guys' radar. I wanted to get that to everybody out in the city that's coming out. We felt horrible that we had to participate, but as you know, when we talked to wing leadership, they said they're still on the phase where they're not allowing gatherings of more than 50 people, which means they wouldn't be able to attend AFAD because we attract anywhere between 9,000 to 10,000 people. And kind of hard at Air Force Appreciation Day without the Air Force. So we still want to get that out there. We're still working on it. Just to put it on your radar and get it out there.
I'll tell you, I appreciate you thinking outside the box. I think the video is going to be amazing.
Well, Betsy and all the people out there have been working very, very hard. There's a lot of stuff going on. Oh, virtual fun run, that's been going out. I'm not sure you guys have seen it. So if you guys aren't out there, make sure you run it. I heard Councilman Bundy was going to run the full marathon this year.
I'm doing the 5K. I'm signed up.
Half marathon, got you.
If the full marathon's 10K, then yeah.
Yep, we appreciate it. It's a huge event. Nobody wanted to cancel it, so we're trying to make the best of the situation as it is.
Great, thank you.
All right, Mayor.
Go ahead.
I have one question, AJ. Is it community canvas in the chamber that is
painting
Yes, thank you.
the businesses, the front windows?
Yes, so Community Canvas has partnered with us. A lot of the businesses downtown, there is a sign up going around to the
Great.
chamber. If they would like their windows painted for that whole week leading into when AFAB would normally be in September, it's going to be first come, first serve. It's going to be availability of paint, availability of the volunteers to get out there and do it. And then, of course, cleanup will be on their own, but people will come out and paint their windows, patriotic, get it all squared away for AFAB so we can start getting that. And then I believe we're trying to work some signs to go up Carmilla, Railroad Park, anything like that, depending on what ITD allows us to do. Obviously, what you guys allow us to do. All of those are coming out, kind of kicking it together, try to reinvent the wheel.
Good. Great.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank
Anybody else like to get up and speak really quick? Hearing none, we'll run down to council comments.
Mr. Mayor?
Councilman Stokes.
I just want to say that Justin at the Optimus motocross track, he's doing a fantastic job. And the track opens tomorrow for kids and adults, and I think that's fantastic.
Cool.
All I have is I want to send a huge shout out. Parks and Rec. They have a gentleman, they actually have two gentlemen that anytime you ask these guys to do anything, they never say no. These guys always go above and beyond. Eric Toutfast, Community Canvas, that guy is amazing. He took it upon himself to paint the jet, the nose that was cracking and peeling, and he did that all on his own in 100-degree heat. And so for that, I thank him. I can't thank him enough. I know Parks and Rec is going to do something for these guys. And then Glenn McNally, he painted all of the visitor centers pergola, and then he built the pergola at the skate park. So he did it all. So the guy's just a workhorse, and we can't thank him enough. That's money that we don't have to spend on labor and like Eric doing that out of kind of his heart and Glenn. So to those guys, I say thank you. And I know Parks and Rec is going to do something for them to show their appreciation, but man, that's volunteering at its finest. So that's all I got. Paula?
Mr. Mayor, we got a request today from the people that work the census, if we could help them. They're really low on their numbers for Elmore County General. So we offered to help them get something set up in Railroad Park while the food trucks are down there. We have a lot of public that comes to that, and then also work with Evolutia to get them a booth at the farmer's market on Saturday. They're only going to be down there for 2 or 3 weeks, but we're hoping to get our census numbers up because that creates our revenue, that population. So it's really important, if you haven't done your census, that you get it done.
Well, for sure, because that will either get us another senator or what is the representative, something like that. But yeah, everyone, don't be afraid, just fill it out. We definitely need it. With school funding too, isn't it?
There's all kinds of things that are tied to population. Representatives, taxes, you name it, everything.
Taxes, that's what it was. Tax revenue.
Revenue sharing.
Revenue sharing. That's based off of population. So we definitely have everyone fill it out.
It doesn't raise your taxes to be counted. It just makes sure that we get the taxes back based on our count.
Correct.
Mayor,
Councilman Brennan.
I was able to attend a police call in the city for a semi truck that was tucked way down in on the walking path, and it absolutely blew my mind how he got that far down there. And he did cause some damage that I think to the walking path. Gene Palmer came out there for a minute, but the sergeant that was on scene got his insurance information so we can have some restitution if necessary. But we may need one of those center poles in the center to keep cars out of there.
There is a bollard on the other side,
The other
so we need to get something on that side.
Yeah.
Okay.
Somebody take pictures of the damage?
The video.
I believe it was Sergeant Fuentes took the call, and he took a whole slew of photos.
Because it might, depending on the damage, it might be something we turn into our insurance companies and they'll go after his insurance for that.
So does anybody know how he got in there?
He literally just turned off at 18th and drove in there on that tiny little track.
You drove there on 18th and turned onto the path right there.
He made it almost to the footbridge.
You know
I
what?
went all the way down the hill.
His GPS took him
across
there.
the creek.
Couldn't cross.
Yeah.
And then, so the tow truck driver, I guess, is the one that backed the truck back out.
All the way.
Backed it slowly but surely. We didn't have to do any like cable yanking or anything like that. And then the last thing to go with Brad's comment, Councilman Sturk's comment, is there was a hijacking of a tractor out there at Optimus Park, where the city equipment was left unattended with the keys in it, and two juvenile kids got in and took it for a joyride. And again, the police officers had to deal with that and not take them into custody, but take them and remove them from the tractor and take them to their parents' house or release them to their parents. So I want to be careful with our equipment that's sitting out there with leaving keys in it. So.
Council, anything else? Hearing none, we'll go down to item number 4, the consent agenda. Councilman.
Mayor,
Councilman Bundy.
I was talking to the chief about the organization. I think it's a pretty interesting deal. Chief, could you take just a minute and kind of let us know what's going on?
Sure.
The leadership and
So-
things like that.
Absolutely. So a couple things going on in police department. We do have kind of a wide variation of experience in the police department. We have approximately 4 or 5 sergeants that we will lose to attrition in the next 24 to 36 months. And then we have a couple of guys that have been there for about middle of the road time. And we have a whole bunch of guys that are real new. So because we're kind of faced with that issue of just, a whole bunch of guys up here, a whole bunch of guys down here, and a couple in the middle, we've come up with a plan to work on our future mentoring of the future first line supervisors. So that's what the corporal position is all about, is to get those guys into a little bit of a leadership position, a little bit officer in charge type situation when the sergeant's not there. They'll also act as field training officers. They'll cover the shift if the sergeant's not available for whatever reason. And the plan is ultimately is that if you want to be a sergeant, then you'll be a corporal first. And so that's kind of where we're going with that, is just mentoring our young guys into future leadership positions.
Thanks, Chief.
Anything else, Councilman?
Mayor,
Councilman Brennan?
I'd just like to remove item D from the consent agenda.
Okay. Mary, did you get them the second quote?
I have it here. No, because I didn't know, if I sent it an email, none of them would have got it. So no, I did not. I just brought it with me.
Mr. Mayor? Councilman Stokes?
I make a motion to pass the consent agenda, removing item D.
Second.
You said D, Councilman?
Yes, sir.
The motion is second. I'll call for the question. Councilman McCain?
All right.
Councilman Brennan?
Aye.
Councilman Bundy?
Aye.
Councilman Stokes? Aye. Let's run down. Old business done, new business items removed. Let's talk about item number D.
Mayor Council, when I put that in your packet, we had asked for a quote from PMG, but we had not received it yet. I've since received it. It's $10,942.
We own the building, the travel and tourism building, but we don't own the stuff that's inside. It's like, how do I articulate it? It'd be like the golf course. So if oven breaks, we go and put a new oven in.
And we only budget about $3,000 a year in their repair and maintenance line item for that building, and they have used all of that. They have nothing left in that line item for this year.
Mayor, that basically takes care of my concerns. I wasn't willing to move forward with only one quote returned back. I was going to ask for a second, so thank you for that. On the other part of that is contingency. I know we have probably plenty of money, but we also had some plans set for contingency right at the end of the year. Is that going to interfere paying off the railroad or anything like that?
Nope, we'll be good. Oh, I'm sorry, I shouldn't speak for you.
I prefer everyone to speak for me. I don't
So what do you guys want to do, Councilman?
Mayor,
Councilman McCain?
I'll make a motion to, take the money of, $6,585 out of contingency to have J&J Heating repair the heating and cooling system at the visitor center.
Second. The motion and second, I'll call for the question. Councilman Stokes?
Aye.
Councilman Bundy? Aye. Councilman Brennan?
Aye.
Councilman McCain?
Aye.
All
Nina,
right.
you did say the other one was what, 10,000
The
much?
other one was
10,942.
10,942.
I flipped it here.
Thank you, Nina.
You're welcome.
Is this where I would do the tie-down one?
Under new business.
Yep, okay, we'll jump on that one before we go to discussion, decision on recommendation of planning and zoning commission. So let's do the tie-down one. So I had a request, the current mechanics position gets 3 tie-downs, so I didn't know, since we have no mechanic other than Mr. Hogue, he wanted to ask if he could get the same deal, if he could get the 3 tie-downs for his mechanics business. So I said I'd ask.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilman Stowe.
it only makes sense to me that if we're doing it for one FBO in one business, that we do it for another FBO in another business. Make it equal.
Mayor,
Councilman Brennan?
is that 3 free spaces in our ordinance?
It was in,
It's in there.
go ahead, man.
It is in a contract that Mr. Thompson has as the mechanic business for leasing that hangar to do the mechanic business out of. But he no longer has a mechanic right now. So my understanding is that Mr. Hogue is doing mechanic work. If somebody needs a mechanic, he's the one that's providing that at the airport.
So it's written into an individual contract?
Written into an individual contract.
And then we will definitely be, in September, sitting down and all of us trying to figure out what we want to do with the airport. All contracts. I have, took, Paul, sorry, out there to let him know what we owned, where everything is, kind of situated and stuff.
Glad I'm that memorable to you.
I love you.
Mr. Mayor.
Councilman Bundy.
So these 3 spots are going to be dedicated to airplanes that he's either repairing or spots that are filled up due to the repair business, correct?
Assume so, yes.
Okay.
Mayor?
Councilman Brennan.
So does Tom Hogue have a contract for his mechanic? Or he has a license as an FBO?
Correct, that's all.
He doesn't have any contracts.
No, but under the in our ordinance, mechanic, where he can do that work, falls under the FDO license.
Okay. And so he's asking us to waive his fees all of a sudden because we delayed our vote. So now he has to pay a fee, right? Or he's in line to have to pay a fee based on.
Correct, but
when
he's
bills are
asking
due.
us to waive our fees because he's doing the mechanic business out there and he doesn't want to have to pay for those planes that he's working on to be tied down while he's working on them, which the other mechanic does not have to do that. That's why, the way he explained it to me anyway.
Okay. And then in the last meeting, he came in and told us that there was basically no conflict and he didn't have to pay anything. And not beating around the bush, I feel like he threatened us and said, if you make me pay, I'm going to take my business elsewhere to the Gooding Airport or some other airport. And I feel like this is just another attempt for him to not pay the fee that essentially is required. He doesn't have a contract with us, and we can negotiate a contract at any time. So I don't see the rush in this other than he's got a bill due and he doesn't want to pay it.
Councilman, what do you guys want to do?
Mayor,
Councilman Brennan.
I make a motion to deny the waiving of tie-down fees for Tom Hogue.
Do I hear a second? Hearing none. Dies for lack of second. Does anything else, Councilman?
Mr. Mayor,
Councilman Stokes?
I make a motion to approve the waiving of the tie down fees.
For who?
For Thomas Hope, FBO.
Do I hear a second?
Mayor,
Councilman McCain?
I will second it, but I want it understood that this is only for the planes that he is repairing. This is not for any of his private planes.
Okay. Tom, we're just talking about your tie downs.
Mhm.
And so I have a motion to approve them, but in a second, but only for planes that you're working on. Not private planes, is that what I understood?
Correct.
Councilman McCain?
Because that's what it was drawn under, was that he wanted them no fees for the planes that his mechanic was working on. Is that correct?
For me, or for Ted, or for?
For you.
For you, for the ones that the mayor just added onto the agenda.
The motion and second, I'll call for the question. Councilman Stokes?
Aye.
Councilman McCain?
Aye.
Councilman Bundy?
I'm a little torn. I'm not sure that this was an emergency, but since it's temporary in nature and in theory should be resolved, I'll vote aye for now, but make sure that we address this in the creation of our new contract.
Okay, Councilman Brennan?
Nay.
Run down to discussion decision on recommendation for the Planning and Zoning Commission to move forward with the annex in the zone R4 of the Knutson Gatlin property located on east side of the South Fifth West, north of Smith Road, east of Caribou Drive. Holy moly, that's a mouthful.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilman Bundy.
I think after reviewing this and looking at the location out Fifth, I think the R4 zoning code for that size of a lot fits into the neighborhood quite well. So I'll just go ahead and make a motion that we approve the recommendation from the Planning and Zoning Commission to move forward with the annex in the zone R4 of the Knutson Gatlin property located on the east side of South Fifth West Street, north of Smith Road and east of Caribou Drive.
Second.
Motion and second, I'll call for the question. Councilman Brennan?
Aye.
Councilman McCain?
One other question, Mayor.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to also, we will need an annexation agreement when this comes forward again. And an aye.
Okay, Councilman Stokes?
Aye.
Councilman Bundy?
Aye.
All right. And then Brock, obviously there's another piece to the puzzle that we need to make sure we get in front of the council. Okay.
We'll have to bring back an ordinance. So
Right.
When we do that, we'll bring back an ordinance.
Item number 7, final comments. Council, we got anything good?
Mr. Mayor?
Councilman Bundy?
I'd like to thank all the members of the community for, I mentioned last time the school was starting. It seems like the people are being cautious driving. The community is in support of the schools opening. I think the students are doing well. It's a process for everybody, but my observation is that there's some growing pains whenever you change a process, but I think everybody's doing the best they can, and I think it's good for the students to be able to come to school and interact with teachers and staff and other students. So I'd like to thank everybody in town for doing a great job. And there's some folks that stayed home online, and I totally understand that also. In this crazy time, I think there's a lot of good things happening, and I appreciate the fact that everybody's working towards that. Thank you.
Mr. Warren? Councilman Stokes?
Just a reminder, so I saw a bad crash in front of Hacker. School zones are 20 miles an hour, and look for pedestrians and kids in front of those zones.
Yeah.
Councilman, all I got for you was, I wanted me to reach back out, see if August 26th for the special meeting was going to work for you guys at 3 p.m. We're going to talk about health insurance.
Good. I've already sent I'll be there.
Be there?
I say I'll be there.
Okay, that's all I have.
Sorry, the email said, let me know if it doesn't work, so.
Okay, I just want to make
Oh.
sure.
I didn't say anything. It works.
Councilman, anything else? Hearing none, can you adjourn?